If you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you're a South Asian that wants a Hollywood physique like Brad Pitt from Fight Club, Jake from Southpaw, or even Thor himself. The only issue is right now, you got the physique of Ahmed Khan from Dangal. Now don't worry, because in real time, Ahmed Khan made his comeback as well. He didn't stay fat forever. If he can do it, so can you. Now you probably have a rough indication of how calories work, but you're not completely sure how it directly correlates to weight loss and fat loss itself. That's because you don't understand how thermodynamics work. You only need to know one rule when it comes to thermodynamics, and that's the first rule of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Energy can only be transferred. Now, this first rule of thermodynamics is what directly correlates to fat loss. People overcomplicate calories a lot, whereas calories is just a metric. It can't be right or wrong. Calories is basically measured like seconds is, or minutes, or miles per hour. Use calories as a simple metric. Now, if you understand the basic principle, you have to understand that you gotta put down the samosas, bro. The samosa is keeping you morte. Once you understand calories, you also understand the idea that one samosa could be equivalent to 200 to 300 calories. It depends on which type of samosa you have. Like one could be really big or one could be really small. Who's making one samosa or one pakora? You make about 30 for the whole khandan, bro. If you ever go to your, let's say, cousin's house, your uncle's house, every time I go to my uncle's house, bro, the guy is feeding me to die. I don't understand. I'm not gonna live after I have that much food. This consequently leads me to my next point, which is actually about mastering the art of discipline. Now, to understand discipline itself, you have to understand, you use this in a day to day. You go to school, it requires discipline. You go work, it requires discipline. You go to the gym here and there, even, it still requires discipline because you show up when you don't want to. What does Mike Tyson say? Paraphrased, he says, doing the thing that you hate, but doing it like you love it. As a South Asian, you may be locked into your exams, your schoolwork, but whenever it comes to your diet, it all goes out the window. It's because the thought process and the actual thinking about doing it and actually doing it is very minimal. Now, what does that mean? Since the friction is minimal between these two things, the thought and the actual action, your brain just goes, huh, green signal, let me do it. Now, we understand that there's no friction. There might be a sense of lubrication more than anything. How do we reduce that? So, one example includes drinking a lot of water. What does this lead to? Drinking a lot of water leads you to be more hydrated. And as a result of being more hydrated and feeling a bit more full, you are less likely to go to that flipping Umda Pakistani mango juice and drink the whole tub of it, yeah? And that urge for high sugary foods instantaneously decreases because you've already drank water. So now you got to think, what are the other ways to create friction between me doing the thing and thinking about the thing, and what makes me think, for example, your phone's in the other room, you're doing work, you're less likely to get up and go, but if it's right here, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Why do you want to disadvantage yourself? Use all the advantages possible. Turn off your phone, put it in another room. If you go to it, you go to it. But there's still friction. It doesn't change the idea that friction will still exist. But if it's right next to you, there is less friction. Doesn't matter how strong you are. It's like putting a drug addict next to cocaine. Why would you do that? This leads me to my last point, and that's oily foods are so much more detrimental than you think to your health. Guys, having oily food, sometimes it's okay. But I was eating like 6 to 8 in one day. There was one day where I ate like 6 to 8 samosa. And I'm talking the big ones, the size of my hand or just a bit smaller, bro. They were wham. At this time, I was boxing, so I went on a run after. I think my cardio is pretty decent. I'm going on this run. I'm a mile in, maybe 1.2. And my body was just collapsing. So I just stopped because I was like, I don't know if I'm having a heart attack right now. My heart was literally just working against me. I couldn't do anything. And I was like, oh, now I remember. Because of how much oil I had. Now, yeah, you're going to be like, whoa, we don't eat 6 to 8 samosa in a day. That's like about 1.5k calories. Yeah, I know. But over time, you have a progressive overload of bad food. Mine was just one day. Since all of these foods are deep fried, they're much higher in saturated fats, which is basically the unhealthy fats like the ones for burgers and fries and stuff like that. If we link it back to the main topic, do you think these Hollywood actors were always eating fried food? Now, yeah, they may be being injected with a little something something, but they weren't eating unhealthy. They were on a strict regime for however long for that specific movie. They were strict with it, bro. You're not strict with it. So you're getting nowhere. But you should try to eat as clean as possible so you don't lack in your health. And if you want the Hollywood physique, listen to the tips I gave. And if you want any more information, go to my Instagram at Boxing Ace and just DM me for any further information. If you have any questions about my one-to-one coaching, which will have much more than this because you're talking to me, so I'm giving you all the information, not just this much, DM me on Boxing Ace or just comment below your questions and I'll make videos on it. Take care. See you in the next one.